video quick because, well, technically I'm on a very quick break as I eat some fucking food. Deep dish pizza. Love it. Anyway, something I hate about most people is that, or at least not most people, something I hate about when I meet people is whenever I meet the type of people who think communication is some sort of like curse or like mortal evil sin, like a sign of weakness. And I know secretly they just probably grew up with the family or friend groups or like some, I don't know, fucked up cult where it's like if you show any sort of feeling or emotional vulnerability or any sort of like domino effect of like how your thoughts went down from like point A to point Z, then fuck you. Some people have that mindset and it depresses me. Like I've met plenty of dudes. And also, like, you know, my mom is exactly like that. That's why I hate that fucking trading people. I remember this one specific incident that happened over the pandemic. I had this specific nice silver bucket that I got from my special ed class back in high school. It was from one of my favorite teachers, and it was from the class of garden. I loved it because I got to do like spiritual like washing with that, and also it was just good for the sake of, hey, if I want to do some chores, it's nice to know I have a nice cute little silver pail with me. And my mom basically I'm debating on how to tell this story. Let's just say the bucket went missing. And I looked everywhere for it, and I thought, no, I set it on this exact fucking side of the counter, the one side of the bathroom that I have, and it's the one item that has ever been on this fucking countertop. So I know that someone took it and it's missing. I just want to know where it is. And that's all I want to know. And I wouldn't have even been too mad about it. I asked my mom, I was like, hey, do you happen to know where my silver bucket is? And she was like, what silver bucket? And I was like, you know, the silver pail I always have whenever I'm like cleaning in my room or like around the house. And she was like, oh, no, I have no idea where that is. And then I remember a day went by and a lot more searching, and then I thought, okay, she's gonna be a bitch. She always is a bitch even when she does fucking wrong. I knew if I ask her again, there is a high like 70% chance that she is going to flip her fucking shit and accuse me of being a fucking idiot or just call me all sorts of shit and get all up in my face dramatically if I dare ask her, hey, do you know what my bucket is? Just to clarify, because she doesn't like being checked on or whatever. But I said, I will do it. I will deal with her ass just because I genuinely want to know, and I won't even be mad at her answer. I said, again, hey, so not to put pressure on you or anything or like interrogate you, but are you sure you didn't see my silver bucket? It was my favorite thing. I just hate that I can't find it anywhere. And then she finally was like, the one on the counter in the bathroom? I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, yeah, I thought I saw some rust in it, so I threw it out. And it's like, I was disappointed. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then I guess she could see in my eyes that I was a little sad, but it's like, yeah, disappointment is fucking natural. I wasn't going to be mad about it. It would have just been like, oh, it would have been nice if she had asked me first or had bothered to double check because it wasn't fucking rust. But it was like, oh, what can I do? I'll just get another bucket or something. But she quickly went into her whole, I'm sorry. I feel bad, okay? I feel bad. And I was like, it's okay. And then I thought, shit, she's really gonna fucking hate this. But she doesn't have to. I'm just gonna ask if she can. And if she doesn't, okay, I can just take the L. But I asked her, would you possibly be down to get me another one? If you can't, or if you don't want to, that's also fine. But her, of course, she doesn't want to look like a broke bitch and be like, oh, I'm not, or like an asshole and be like, I'm not buying you another fucking bucket, fuck you, because she knew that she was the one who did it. She confessed and everything. And then she was like, yeah, sure. And how much is it? And I looked online, and I waited like a day or two, and I was so nervous. I was like, fuck, how do I bring up the price of this bucket to her? I thought it would be some cheap, like, cheap-ass Ace Hardware bucket that would be like $5 to $10. No, it was like $18 or $30. It was in the range between absolute lowest is 18, absolute highest is 30. And it's like, oof. And I brought it up to her. I was like, hey, the bucket actually is a lot more money than expected. If you want to pay me half, that's okay. And if you just don't want to get it at all, that's fine. But it is like $30. And then she's like, damn, $30? That ain't even my bucket. And she had this like super assholey attitude about it. But she was like, oh yeah, like, you know, despite her original, damn, $30. Like she was like, yeah, I got you, baby. I got you. No worries. I can afford it. Fast forward a few fucking hours. This bitch kicks open my fucking bedroom door. Lily bum rushes in with all the shit I've ever had in that bathroom, which was like one or two single articles of clothing, and then just like a bunch of soaps and shit. And then she's just like dumps it on the table in my bedroom and is like, Maybe next time if you don't want people to toss out shit of yours, you shouldn't have shit in that fucking bathroom. And then she basically then proceeds to like just keep fucking yelling at me as if it's my fault that she decided to throw out someone else's item. And it wasn't even her, like, it's like, okay, so you went into someone else's bathroom, you snooped around, you threw away something of theirs without their consent, and yeah, you just threw away someone else's item in their area, in their space. You had no reason to do that at all, but you're mad at me. And then she just continued yelling before she eventually just shoved the $30 in my hand and slammed the door on her way out. And what's funny is I didn't even react at all because I just thought, yeah, this is... When you have a mother like mine, you just kind of expect that. It's like, yeah, it's a shame that I have to wait several days and pre-plan the nicest way to say things to you to, limit your reaction, and I'll still get a bad one anyway. So I remember she actually, as she was gonna fucking leave my bedroom, she did the Michael Jackson Thriller and was just like, did a double take trying to see if I would react or emote or give a shit, and it's like, no, I already knew you were a psycho bitch. Why would I fucking care? And then she slams the door on her way out because I guess she was mad that she didn't get a reaction, but she also would have been mad if she got a reaction. People like that don't make fucking sense to me, and I hate it. And I've met several people like that since, and it pisses me off. Like, I'll go on a date with a dude, and I think this dude's really nice. Everything's going well with him. Everything's going fine. And then next thing you know, he'll, it could be, 2 weeks later, and he's blowing up my phone saying I'm some sort of narcissistic fucking asshole, gold-digging bitch who was only after him for money. And then I have to be like, okay, first off, how did you get to that point? Because one, I've paid for half the dates we've went on. Two, yeah, any date we had was less than $10 each. Or actually less than $10 fucking total. I literally looked up discount fucking movie drive-in days so that we could go on the cheapest day available. And I asked you to tag along because I thought you were cool. Three, if you wanted me to take the bus to see you instead of driving to and fro, paying the tolls 4 times each, you could have just said, hey, Tamia, can you meet me at this place? I would have taken the fucking bus, probably, maybe. I was still scared of COVID, but I liked that fucking dick. And 4, if you had just said, hey, can we split this? Or can we go Dutch? Or, oh, I don't got this on me right now. Can we separate it? I would have said yes. Why? Because the man had fucking, it was as thick as this bottle. It was just as long, too. What makes you think I was gonna give it up that easily? Yeah, I'd split a bill for that dick. Anyway, moving on. And then eventually we had enough conversation where eventually he finally managed to communicate his emotions, and it turns out he did the same thing my mother did. He assumed that he basically thought, oh, I fucked up with Tamia, or I can't provide what I think Tamia deserves. And then he somehow got all the way in his mind mentally to, shit, I can't keep affording to pay for dinner dates, but I don't want to, have Tamia fuck off and hate me if I disappoint her. If Tamia's gonna fucking hate me anyway, fuck that bitch. She's a bitch. She's a gold-digging whore. Fuck Tamia. And it's that's a huge cycle to go through, rapidly fast without talking to me at all, and it's not fair on me. And I told him, that's not fair on me. If you just go to me as a narcissistic, psycho, gold-digging bitch, whole time I'm oh, I can't wait to see this nigga today. And then it's if he would have asked, I would have paid for half of the fucking bill, or just wait until I could and then met him later. But yeah, and my mom always had a history of doing that. She would always be the type to be oh, I'm gonna she could be desperately afraid of disappointing me, and I could tell that deep down she didn't want to disappoint me, because she has I'm not gonna say she loved me. I'm not. There was something there. I wouldn't call it love. But she definitely didn't want to feel shit, I disappointed my child. But she would still get into the mindset of, oh, fuck my kid. My kid needs to respect me. And if my kid is disrespected, is disappointed in me, then that kid is disrespectful and a fucking cunt, and my daughter fucking sucks. And then she'd get very much deep in her head. The whole thing could have been resolved with oh, I'm sorry, honey, I really don't have the finances right now, so I can't get you a new bucket, but maybe for your birthday, okay? Or even just said, oh, I'm sorry, I really can't do that right now, but I am sorry for your bucket. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Or just anything else. She could have just said, oh, I can't do that, sorry, and then walked off, and I would have been okay, that's disappointing, but I'm not gonna hold the biggest grudge over it. I'm gonna be fuck, rats. But I'm gonna move the fuck on. Because what really did the whole volatile reaction do except further strain our already non-existent relationship? And I just hate that shit in people. Sometimes that happens with me and my current boyfriend as well, who I very much love super much, super fucking dearly. And I have to let him know, hey, you don't have to feel ashamed to tell me things. Like, don't think, oh, if I ask Tamia to split a bill, she's gonna fucking hate me, therefore I must resent her secretly as I continue doing this thing that I'm not comfortable with. It's like, no, just tell me when you can't afford things, and we can figure out, like, dates in our budget, or, like, compromises we need to make to continue enjoying each other without, like, either of us going broke, or, like, suffering, or just anything. And it's simple as that. I hate when people like overcomplicate shit in their heads, but I also sympathize with them because, like I said, they come from really fucked up backgrounds where they couldn't express themselves properly or whatever, or they have a fucked up internal dialogue where they don't want to hate themselves, but they hate themselves so deeply and hate the idea of disappointing people that, ironically, to avoid hating themselves, they'll start hating the other person even though they know it's not right, and they'll make up any reasons they can and catastrophize it, and it's just awful. So anyway, fuck that shit. That's all I had to say. Peace out.